The 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Covered by Universal Roof and Contracting. The difference is Universal.
On 1010XL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it.
All right, sports concepts and rationalizations coming your way. We call it the 10-minute drill. It's fun.
I call it that, at least.
And at the end, we're giving away a prize pack. Beef, what are we giving away today?
Oh, we're hooking the Googans up with free airport parking from our friends at USAPark.net, plus lunch or dinner for two from Chick-fil-A.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. You know what had themselves a ball game yesterday was that kid with the Reds.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you do something that the last time it was done was a cat named Babe Ruth,
Yeah,
you had a good day.
yeah. So he, what did he do? He pitched and he hit a home run.
No, he didn't just pitch. He got a win.
Got a win.
Got a win, hit a home run, and play the outfield all in the same game.
Yeah.
Usually when you hear somebody from the Reds do something historic, you expect it to be the Aquino kid.
Yes.
There's been plenty of – well, he's been doing that too, hadn't he?
Yeah.
Well, there have been plenty of guys that have gotten the win and hit a home run.
Yeah.
I mean, that happens 10, 15 times a year usually.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the playing the outfield part that changes it. Who was it that they put in the outfield? Was it Arrieta? I think like recently I saw a major league pitcher.
It was the guy in left field for the Phillies. It wasn't Arrieta.
But it was a Phillies pitcher?
Threw a guy out at home and
Yeah,
made a
right.
catch.
Oh,
yeah.
was it Velasquez maybe?
Yeah, might have
Yeah,
been him,
yeah.
but I'm not positive.
Yeah, August 3rd, Vince Velasquez.
Yeah.
So that was a good one.
You ever heard of Clint McMillan? Do you remember that name?
Clint McMillan. Yeah, I do remember that name, but you have to tell me why I remember it.
Yeah, I don't. I kind of don't, to be honest with you. And he started 13 games for the Gators in 07.
Okay,
he's a coach at Tennessee. Pat Dooley wrote an article on him. He's a coach, one of the assistant coaches at UT Martin, the team they're playing this week. So he'll be back. It goes by Clinton McMillan now, but Clint McMillan.
I thought linebacker.
It rings a bell.
Is that what he was? What
he
was
a
he?
D lineman.
D lineman.
Yeah. So, in essence, you don't remember Clint McMillan, nor do I.
I remember the name. I was going to say Gator, but I didn't out of fear that that I'm thinking about Henry McMillan and Clint Ingram of the Jags. There's a lot running together there. So,
as bad as we were in the break, we were talking about Tennessee football as we kick things around here, the sports concepts and rationalizations, and as bad as they've been, and they have been since they ushered Philip Fulmer out back in 2008, but really. In his last few years were not impressive. Kiffin, Dooley, Cheney, Jones, Hoke, Pruitt.
Kiffin screwed him. They probably have been okay. Kiffin threw him completely off track when he bought. And I'm not saying he had a great year.
Yeah.
But I think he would have done better than that endless procession of terribleness.
Pruitt is now 5-7 in 12 games.
I want a new coach if I'm Tennessee.
They host BYU this weekend. Don't you just got this gut feeling that Philip Fulmer is going to be back on the sidelines in Knoxville at some point?
Maybe. Go Bill
the age
Snyder.
Of 69.
Do the whole Kansas State. He's only 69?
Yeah,
he probably will.
Fairly young.
You know what? The one thing that I'm tired of. Here's what I'm tired of.
Because understand they had Philip Fulmer for about 16, 17 years, and before that they had Johnny Majors for about 16, 17
It's also
years.
fair to point out that Philip Fulmer was fired with cause. He was getting run out of he wasn't. Now, in hindsight,
right,
it doesn't look like they were that far off track, but Tennessee had really receded in the 10 years since they won the championship. I mean, didn't Fulmer lose to the Gators down there like 55-10 or something?
Well, remember, they won in 98. So
and 10 years later,
in 2001, they were 11-2.
Yeah.
In 3-4, they were 10-3. Then they went 5-6, 9-4, 10-4, and 5-7. I think Tennessee would be very happy to have
but if you're
a 9-4 and 10-4 mixed in there since.
Yeah, but 9-4 coming off of the 11s and the Natties and the Paytons isn't good.
Yeah.
And if you have 2 5-win seasons in a 4-year period at a program like that, then
it's hard to win. It's hard to Tennessee's a tough place, man, because you really got to recruit well. You got to get kids out of state.
You got to get Florida, Georgia, South Carolina kids.
And since that 10-win season that Phillip had in 07, they have not won 10 wins since. Butch Jones had 2 9-4s, and that wasn't good enough. Butch Jones was hammered, and he had a couple of 9-4s.
9-4 is not good, dude.
Huh?
I'm getting. Here's what I'm getting tired of. I'm getting tired of the badge of honor being worn by people in our business who, aren't in the business to fire coaches or think that coaches need 3 years or that. No, when coaches decided to start taking $4 or $5 million a year, they don't get 5 years to set the template.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. There are too many coaches that come in and win right away.
Yeah.
to use the excuse of, well, you got to start over.
Yeah.
We had to,
Sometimes the situation's a lot better that they're stepping into, too, though.
Yeah, and it can be. I don't know how anyone could look at the Florida Gators situation that Butters left them, and then Dan Mullen won 10 games last year.
Yeah.
Who could have ever thought Florida would win 10 out of that situation? But Dan Mullen's a good enough coach to do it. So find a coach who's good enough to do it, and don't give him 5 years to bury you further. I mean, Butch Jones, though, is the worst of all because he had great teams. They had really good teams. He couldn't even make it to Atlanta. He let those ragtag Florida teams win the East.
Oh, dear.
So there's that.
Well, I mean, it depends really on perception, too, because Lincoln Riley, who's coached at Oklahoma for 2 years, has had 2 Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks and gone 12-2 both years.
Well, he's also came from inside the system, which is a little bit
Yeah,
different.
but does that mean he's a great coach, or does that mean you just said, well, Butch Jones should have been better. He had great teams. Well, what about Lincoln Riley?
Lincoln Riley just went to the playoffs and had
Okay, yeah,
Heisman
but they're
winners.
12-2.
That's much better than Butch Jones not winning the division.
9-4, 12-2. But what I'm telling you is he had the best player in the country on his team both years. Should they have done more? Should Oklahoma had beaten Georgia? Should Oklahoma had beaten Alabama with Kyler Murray and with Baker Mayfield?
I would respond this way.
And that's 4
Can
losses.
you tell
in
me
2
somebody
years.
not named Kyler Murray?
I'm
last
just
year's
asking.
team?
So for you, 12-2 is good enough because 9-4 isn't. You said.
Well, first of all, I'm 12-1 and I lost in the Final Four of the playoffs. I won my conference,
not the Natty.
I won my conference. You can't win the Natty every year. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just asking. So
Well,
12-2 is okay though.
I think that 12-2.
I'm just asking.
Okay, 12-2.
Yes or no? That's all I ask.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely.
All right.
1,000 million
That's all I
trillion
need.
percent.
But 9-4 isn't.
No.
Okay.
No,
right.
not every year. 9-4 would be okay if you had a 12-2 on one side of it.
Yeah.
But when you peak at 9-4 with a good team,
Right.
with the best talent in the division,
Yeah. Tennessee never liked Butch Jones. They didn't want, but Tennessee doesn't like anybody. That's part of their
that
problem.
is the truth.
They hire guys and they don't like them
Well,
immediately.
look,
and
I
then
wonder what Greg Schiano would be doing if he had not been railroaded out of there for things that he didn't
Tennessee
even do.
fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tennessee fan gets what they deserve.
They do.
I hope those hillbillies win 5 games a year every year. Seriously. Tennessee fan with a high moral character of the state of Tennessee, which we actually had one emailer tell us that the people of Tennessee have higher moral values than the rest of the country.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? Some of us follow politics. Perhaps not.
Yep.
Anyway, 9-4 at Tennessee when that's your high water mark, no. But, yeah, I got no quibbles with, Oklahoma also at 12-2 in back-to-back years is dealing with arguably 2 of the better programs. Clemson and Alabama are making cases for like top 10 programs all time during a time period.
They didn't play Clemson, though.
Well,
But anyway.
but those are the teams that won the national
Yeah.
championship.
Sure,
Yeah, they played Georgia the one year.
No, I hear you.
And then what about last year was Alabama?
Mhm.
Yeah, so the Georgia and Alabama got them. If you're Melvin Gordon, do you have a right to be kind of ticked at the Chargers? So the Chargers don't want to pay Melvin Gordon. They gave him a chance to seek a trade. They found one. The Eagles were willing to send Jordan Howard, who's been a 1,000-yard rusher in his career, who obviously has not made the impression coming over from the Bears that they thought he would.
Right.
But they were offering a deal of Jordan Howard and a swap of some draft picks for Gordon,
What are
and
the
the
picks?
Chargers took it down.
What are the picks?
A swap of mid-round draft picks. so.
Yes and no. Yes and no. Just like, especially, in light of Ezekiel Elliott, you're probably even more annoyed. You're not the upper tier running back, but you're a good running back. I see what you're trying to do, and you're trying to cash in. We don't play that game here in the Chargers organization. I get it. Okay, well, if I'm not good enough, then trade me. Can I get traded? Sure, go work out a deal. All right, here's a deal. No, we don't like that deal.
That's what I'm saying. So are you?
Yes, but listen, we still have a contract. So there's some, I do get it on both sides. The interesting thing is that the Chargers are not willing to work with him one bit.
That's I think that.
Don't you know, too, when he comes back, they're going to make him pay his fines?
I don't know why do you have fines if you don't make them pay?
Yeah.
You have no right in any way at all. You can be unhappy about it, but you have no standing to not be at practice, at camp. So I wouldn't. I look, if I'm the Chargers, shove off, buddy. No, I'm not doing anything for you. You're under contract. We paid you first-round money. We drafted you, and now you're unhappy with the. By the way,
well, why are you that way? But yet with Zeke, you want
because
him to
he's
get
the
paid?
best.
Oh.
Zeke plays games. He's the best. Their team revolves around him. Theirs doesn't. It revolves around Phillip Rivers and Keenan Allen and other. I'll tell you why. Here are 4 years of Melvin Gordon's rushing totals.
Yeah.
641, 997, 885.
Yeah.
His 1 year that he went over 1,000, he went for 1,105. He only averages 4 yards a carry.
Yeah.
He's unreliable to play 16 games.
Oh,
he's not near the running back of Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh, he's next level.
2 down. He's like Fournette level.
Yeah.
Which is
Who's the in-between level? Is there an in-between
Le'Veon
level?
maybe, and
Le'Veon's upper level.
well, I'm putting Zeke. I mean, okay? Then we're just going to we'll go off the fantasy rankings. Then
Yeah.
we'll go Zeke and McCaffrey and Kamara
Yeah.
and Saquon.
Yeah.
And then Bell is not in that level.
He's not?
No,
Because he didn't play last year in
well,
fantasy.
probably
That's why.
That's a lot. I think he will be.
Yeah.
I'm. As you'll find out when we make our picks at 8, I'm a little higher on the Jets than most.
All right.
So, and Le'Veon Bell is a big reason why.
All right.
So, bottom line,
It's
Gordon.
just funny the perception of how it works, with one organization and the other organization.
Well, to me, it's this, Dan. I mean, it's as simple as this. I mean, if the roles were
what
reversed,
does Gordon have? 1 year or 2 left on his deal?
it has to just be 1. He came in the same time as. Well, he's going into his 5th year.
Yeah.
So this is his last.
He has more of a right to ask for his contract to be renegotiated
Except for
than Zeke
the fact
Elliott.
that he's not that good. The guy has 3,600 yards in 4 years.
Yeah.
That's 900 a year. I can give Alfred Blue the ball every carry this year.
No, you can't.
And he'll get 900 yards.
No,
Yes,
you
I can.
No, you can't.
I can too.
No, you can't. Alfred Blue can't play the whole year.
Well,
He's already hurt.
Did
And
you
he-
just
you-
describe Melvin Gordon?
If you that's not true.
He can't play
He's got 3,600 yards.
in 4 years.
Yeah.
That's 50 yards a game, Hick. Why is that laughable? That's 50 yards a game
Well,
on
if
the
you
ground.
Want, if you want to do it like that, then we could do it with all these running backs. Le'Veon Bell, what does he have? Well, he
Lot
had
more
0 last year.
Well, no,
Okay.
that
yes,
doesn't
he
count.
did.
That doesn't count.
Yes, he did.
He didn't play.
Well,
That's
why
not-
didn't he play? He was healthy.
That's
He could have
fine,
played.
but he's not a statistical year. You don't count that the same as only as actually playing and not getting yards.
Okay.
And I think that if you did follow that that plan, that you'll find that Ezekiel Elliott is not rushing for 50 yards a game. He's rushing for 100 yards a game.
Well, the question isn't is Zeke Elliott better than Melvin Gordon? We get that.
Well, you asked me what the difference was, so I thought there was a question.
What was the difference? The difference.
Right,
I
what's
said,
it- right.
I said Melvin Gordon has a year left on his contract. Zeke Elliott had
Well, that
2 years
came up
left.
after you asked me the difference. That's going to do it for the 10-minute drill. We're talking in circles. Doc Kevin Murphy is next. It's a Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday on the drill.
Caller number 3, 641-1010. You want a prize pack? Take it home right now. 641-1010, USAParking.net, and Chick-fil-A, right, Pete?
That's right.
All right.